Okay, so let's go on to the exercise that corrects all those horrible negative effects of being seated for long periods of time. And like I said in the previous video, this is something that takes you 3 to 5 minutes a day. You do it a couple times a day, right? It's not a big deal. And if you have trouble for remembering this sort of thing, go ahead and put a post-it on your computer monitor, put a reminder on your phone, whatever it takes, so that there's just that check-in. And if you do these exercises for a couple of weeks, once or twice a day, you'll find your body will naturally start reminding you that you need to do that because you won't be feeling as good. So here's what we want to do. Now, we're not focusing on your pelvic tilt like I mentioned in the last video right now. What we're going to focus on is the breathing pattern to decompress your spine, open your rib cage, and help get your shoulders back. Then I'm going to add on additional movement that you would do if you're doing this against the wall that'll help you with this. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you sit back deep into the seat, meaning I want your rib cage and your butt to be pressed against the back of an upright chair that has a fairly straight back. From this position, what I'm going to have you do then is you're going to push your chin back with your fingers. And notice when I'm pushing it back, I'm not lifting it this way. I'm pulling it back so the back of my head moves toward the wall here behind me. What that does is it starts to naturally decompress the suboccipital muscles at the base of the skull and decompress the rest of the cervical spine and stretch it so those muscles get a break from the constant tension and buildup of waste products, toxins that irritate the muscles and nerves all throughout your neck that cause headaches and all these other problems. So you're going to make sure your rib cage is against the chair and that your butt is against the back of the chair as well. In this position, you're now going to take your fingers and you're going to use your thumb and pinky to measure the space between the bone at the top of your hips here, those two bones that stick out. If you're having trouble finding them, just take your fingers and go right up the middle of your thigh until you hit those pointy bones. Put your pinkies on those and go ahead and put your thumbs under your rib cage here, just at the base of the rib cage, lined up with the pinkies right here. You're going to line right up there. Now, with the chin tucked back like this, chest is fairly high. What we're going to be doing is something that's called chest breathing, and we're going to be doing this as an exercise to help your overall posture. This is not the way you want to be breathing the majority of the time. We're just going to do this for maybe 5 breaths. I'm just going to show you a couple breaths so you get the idea. So when you breathe in, what we want you to do is breathe in and lift the whole rib cage up like it's a cylinder. This is not about arching, because if you arch, you're going to feel your shoulders go into the chair. You don't want to feel your rib cage lose contact from the chair. Super important. So when you breathe in, what you're actually going to do is not only lift the rib cage up, you're also going to be breathing into the back of the rib cage, and you want to feel it almost pressing into the back of the chair. It's something you have to imagine, and then eventually you'll feel it. So I'm going to take a big breath in through my nose, lifting my rib cage up, and still feeling it though touching the chair. Now, when I breathe out, I breathe in through my nose, I'm going to breathe out through my mouth. And as I breathe out, I'm going to pull my belly button in toward my spine. I'm not tensing my six-pack here or my abdominal muscles. What I'm doing is I'm getting my core, my deep transverse abdominis, to activate and strengthening all the muscles around my lower back and spine. So I breathe out, and I pull that belly button in. You're using this measuring system with your thumb and pinky so that when you breathe out, you don't want your rib cage to drop. It takes a different kind of strength and activating different muscles to keep your rib cage high. And this is what we tend to forget when we're seated for a long period of time. Take another breath in. Feel the rib cage lift as a cylinder and push with your breath, trying to expand those ribs, pushing into the chair as if your rib cage is expanding to the back. As you breathe out again, keep that distance, pull the belly button in. So you would do this breathing anywhere from 3 to 5 times. You can do it 10 if you want. That's totally fine. But what this breathing is doing, like I said previously, it's decompressing the low back, it's decompressing the rib cage, and with the chin tuck, you're also decompressing the cervical spine. So you're increasing the oxygen and blood flow to your whole nervous system, You're opening up your breathing again. You're activating your core, and you're teaching your head correct positioning for a proper and good posture. What you'll find with these exercises that blow me away is that as you do these, your body will naturally remember that it feels better to be in this posture. You won't have to remember it yourself. Your body will tell you, this doesn't feel right, and you'll find yourself naturally going back to them. So we're going to add one more element, and this is the advanced version of this. So with the advanced version, the difference is you're not going to be using your thumb and pinky to do the measuring here. Everything else is the same, right? The butt against the chair, back of the chair, slid all the way back. Your rib cage stays against the back of your chair. The chin gets tucked and pushed back. You're lifting the rib cage like a cylinder. You're breathing into the back of the rib cage to really try and expand through the back. Now the thing we want to now add is opening up the shoulders, because this rounding really affects a lot of stuff through the upper body, and it tends to drag the head with it. So what you're going to do for this is you're going to put your hands by your side, and you're going to turn your arms outward. So this is not pulling your shoulder blades back to do this, like a lot of people teach with posture. This is not about just turning your hands like that. What we're going to do is pull the elbows into your side, like so, and then you're going to bring your hands back as far as you can go while still keeping your rib cage touching the chair. So when you do this and then pull your chin back, you will feel a huge stretch through your chest. Now from this position, you do your breathing. So I take a deep breath in, expand the rib cage, lift it up, don't arch, push through the back of the rib cage into the chair, and I breathe out, pulling the belly button toward the spine and keeping that height. So then I would do that 3 to 5 times. That's the advanced version of this. So go ahead and use this. I'm telling you, you do this a few minutes a day, 3 to 5 breaths, and you will feel the benefits, and hopefully that'll be good motivation. Keep doing it.